Welcome everyone to Kaypacha's Zoom meeting on Feeling Human, a look at cancer, love, and connection. As the summer solstice is upon us now, we are going to feel a real shift from head to heart to real feeling, with the sun's movement into Cancer, followed by Mercury, Moon, and joining Mars. We will open our hearts to love and let our feelings guide us. It is all about inner peace and doing our inner work. As something bigger and deeper wants to be birthed, a new paradigm, a new reality. For more information, you can check out Kaypacha's community at newparadigmastrology.com. Welcome, Kaypacha, from all of us. Please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Can you see me?
Yes.
We can see the video. Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Now I can see some people. Well, it's the summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere, and the sun just went into Cancer. Mars is in Cancer. Mercury just went into Cancer. The moon, we're going to have a new moon in Cancer. So I just thought I'd talk about Cancer a little bit today. And let's just really tune into, first of all, just if we can all mute our microphones, that'll be great. And secondly, let's just all, if you can just close your eyes, let's all connect on the astral plane for a minute with just a few deep breaths. Breathing way down into the belly, relaxing, connecting with each other through time and space, not just Zoom, but through feeling. So this is a very important time. There's a lot going on for people. There's a great pull. I don't know exactly where I should start. I like to start in the now. And right now, yes, the moon is in Gemini, but it is moving into Cancer. And this is probably so important for all of us, whether we have planets or anything in Cancer, because Pluto is in Capricorn. And we can't talk about Cancer without talking about Capricorn, because we live in a polarized consciousness, and these are two poles of an axis. And that axis is the security axis. And we're all looking for security. So we have Capricorn is physical, financial security. We get that through our jobs, through authority figures, through following the rules and the laws, and, you know, having a big brother or the government or a father or someone taking care of us and really playing, you know, putting out boundaries and protecting us in some way, shape, and form. Pluto moving through Capricorn from 2008 to 2024, we know is bringing a deep transformation in this whole externalized. In the natural horoscope, Cancer is down at the bottom, 12 o'clock midnight. It's down in there. And Capricorn is up, up, out, and away. So it's our job, business, vocation, career, the demands and the expectations of people that are depending on us, and it's pulling us out of bed, out of the home, out of our feelings, into our heads, into our duties and responsibilities. So it's really, you know, calling us and pressuring us, you know, to toe the line, make the deadline, business as usual, get your act together, be responsible, show up. I mean, there's just all this, Pluto is just like demanding, 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 demanding. And it's just, it's intense. It's heavy. And it's not just Pluto transiting through Capricorn. The south node of Pluto is transiting through Capricorn. And the last time I looked, I think it's like 2,000 years for the south node of Pluto to make it through Capricorn. So we're looking at this Pluto in Capricorn, the south node of Pluto in Capricorn, the United States Pluto in Capricorn, the south node of Saturn is in Capricorn, the south node of Jupiter is in Capricorn. So it's like south, 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 past, past, past. Patriarchy, patriarchy, thousands of years, okay, of get out there, control yourself, be responsible, follow the instructions, follow the rules from the external authorities, whether they're popes or bishops or rabbis or governments or fathers or Bill Gates or Donald Trump or whoever the hell is out there now. It changes, but some of the rules have not changed in a very, very, very long time. And so collectively, we're carrying, it's like we're dragging, and not even dragging, it's the millstone, the scapegoat. They used to give the scapegoat, the millstone around their neck that they got to just like carry. And we've all been carrying this millstone of trying to, meet all the demands and expectations that have been placed upon us, either righteously or wrongly or whatever, for very long periods of time, particularly since we were born into the third dimension. And so the future, I would say, when we talk about Cancer, we're talking about the future. In fact, we're talking about the now. And the sooner that we can make the future now, the sooner the future will happen. You get that? I mean, we've all incarnated, now at this particular time to experience and to help, hopefully, heal this planet and, bring forward the evolution of this planet, the evolution of our species. And we do that by individually becoming examples and models of the future. And so right now, with the north node of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, all in the sign of Cancer, it is our duty, our Capricorn duty, to be Cancer. You get it? It's totally bizarre. So, and of course, transiting Pluto brings this in even more. And for those of you in the United States, we know that with the Sagittarius rising United States chart, we also have Pluto in the 10th house. Okay, and Pluto, I'm sorry, it's not in the 10th house, but the United States Pluto is at 27 degrees, 32 minutes of Capricorn. It's going to have its own Pluto return coming up here shortly. So let's talk about Cancer. Let's bring ourselves in to Cancer. And this Cancer is cardinal water. Oh, wow, man. What a drag. Sorry about that. Traveling here, visiting my sister. So we come into Cancer. We come down to 12 o'clock midnight. We let go of the demands, of the expectations, of follow the leader and do what the boss says. And we come into our feelings. We come into our water, our emotions. We come in and they are what? They are illogical, irrational. They don't make sense. They're unpredictable. They emerge, okay, up out of the great mother, up out of Gaia, up out of the unconscious, just like, randomly. And a smell brings back this memory, okay, and somebody says something and it brings back that memory. And then that memory, triggers this emotion. And so we find ourselves in Cancer, okay, just like being, like a bobber, on the ocean, bobbing around and getting pushed around and shoved around by these waves of emotion that we really have very little control over because they change so rapidly. And we have to understand that this whole patriarchy that we've been under for a few thousand years has been what? If you can control your environment, and if you can sustain and maintain, and through your commitment, not change, don't change. The more you can get a stable family, a stable job, a stable home, a stable relationship, and not change, the more the more responsible you are, the more reliable you are, the more people will respect you and look up to you, and the farther you'll get up the company ladder. And so there's been this whole thing of, resist change and you will succeed. And here the future is in cardinal water, which is to embrace our changing emotional nature, our changing feelings, and to really integrate, okay, in a whole new way, okay, this now feeling and emotional awareness, emotional genius coming into this and being able to manage it. So what a lot of people and a lot of messages that so many of us have gotten for so many years since we were born, okay, is like stuff those emotions and stuff those feelings so that we can count on you and rely on you and you can keep your job. Because if you follow your feelings and you don't feel like coming to work and you don't feel like getting out of bed and you don't feel good today, we're not going to count on you and we're going to fire you. And there's been serious consequences for doing Cancer. Yeah. And they're still going on in very many ways. So this is a challenge. Okay, this is a challenge to really come into a place, okay? And this has also caused what? Other repercussions, or the ripple effect of that is, and this is the challenging part for emotional security, is if I want to feel secure in my emotions, and my emotions and feelings are constantly changing, I have to really learn how to surf the waves of these feelings, because it's really hard to come to security. And what this can really brings up for so many people is doubt. D-O-U-B-T, the devils of doubt. We begin to doubt ourselves because we feel one way one day or 1 minute or 1 hour, and another feeling comes along, and then we begin to just really, and then we've got these external authorities and parents and partners and relationships, really, asking us to stay stable and stay here and stay this and stay that. And so it's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. So this doubt undermines us, and we come into this cardinal cross, because then when we come into, Aries is square Cancer, it's very hard to just act and charge and be strong and be that warrior if I'm caught in all this emotional doubt. And I'm going to talk about it more later, but of course, as Cancer is square to Libra, we've got Jupiter moving through Libra. And the relationships and partners and other people are also pulling us out of our feelings, out of our comfort zone, out of our safety zone. And this is the other major factor of Cancer: safety, security, and safety, so that I can really be in a place of vulnerability And this is what is one of the most beautiful parts of that child, that inner child that Cancer represents for us. This inner child is really vulnerable and so beautifully sensitive and so feminine, because it is the feminine that lives in the now. It's the feminine that picks up, okay, psychically and with feeling and with emotion, the whole environment, the body language, the tone of voice. Okay, it's like everything is impacting us. And we all have this feminine side. It's not just women. I'm talking about, male and men and women have this feminine side. And we all have a fourth house, and we all have a moon, and we all have Cancer. So I'm talking to everybody here. And some of us have it, in different places, and it's expressing itself in different ways through this body in this lifetime. But still, we all have this sensitivity to our environment and sensitivity to the people that are around us and the psychic space that is around us. And it's kind of impacting us all the time. I mean, especially now with this Mars trining Neptune up there in Pisces, it's like super beautiful to be tapping into cosmic. Now it's not just this immediate environment. I mean, Mars trine Neptune up there is like, now we can like tap into universal cosmic intelligence. It's great. And that's even more chaos. Now, if we're not like, surfing the ocean, okay, now we can surf the whole freaking cosmos with Neptune, shooting through us. And then Sun and Mercury, moving through here into this trine with Neptune is going to be like really awesome too. But I want to try to stay on some kind of track here. It's a big task, right? And so how do we move into this place, this vulnerability? Because really what Cancer wants, what the fourth house wants, what the moon wants, what the feminine wants is connection. Connection. This is how we get our security. Maybe instead of surfing over the surface of that water, we fall in and jump into the ocean. We jump in and we swim in the water. And we become like the fish. And the fish are all sharing that same ocean of feeling. And so then we get into this collective feeling. And this Cancer really wants, and especially, of course, it's with the mother. Cancer rules the breasts and the chest and the rib cage. That rib cage protects all those sensitive, vital organs of life. And that crab has that hard shell. So it wants to like really kind of, it's an introverted sign. Yeah. Water goes in and goes down. This is cardinal water. I am actively going in and down. I'm actively staying in the bathroom, staying in the bedroom, staying in my feelings, staying in myself. And it can be very hard for me to verbalize and even put into words these oceanic feelings of, and these waves that are, coming over me all the time. But it's wonderful if you can join me here. If you can swim in my ocean, if you can swim in my pool, if you can share my feelings, I would really appreciate, what's that called? That swimming where everybody swims together. I forget it, but it's swimming together. Maybe a life preserver or something that I can latch onto. Can you be my life preserver? Can you be my breast? Can you be my, can I suckle it, right? Can I draw some security, some nurturing, because I'm scared. And this is the other part of Cancer. Yeah, this insecurity is just a garden bed with lots of compost for fear and emotional fear, because I am so tender and I am so vulnerable and I am so innocent and I am so open. And I want to be that way. I mean, if it's at all possible, it would be really nice to stay the baby and stay in my crib and just really be that open, sensitive, psychic, woo, reflection of my environment, of my mom and my dad, and just like everybody out here. It's such a beautiful, innocent, open state. So this is the beautiful part of Cancer, and this desire for emotional connection. Yeah, this calling, reaching, grabbing. That Cancer's got those claws and those clippers. Cancer wants to hold on a little bit when it does find, yes, a tit to suckle on. Yeah, something to hold it, spoon it, cuddle it, help it, nurture it, make it safe and sound and secure. Then it's like, oh yeah. It's, water fills whatever vessel or container it goes into. So this is the beautiful side of Cancer, and it stays open and feeling. And of course, as Jeffrey says with evolutionary astrology, we evolve through our feelings. And this is another beautiful side of Cancer. Cancer feels its feelings, and it feels everybody else's feelings, and it doesn't have the Saturnian, Jupiterian judgment. I mean, it knows what it's like to change its feelings and change its course, and ride this wave, and here comes another wave. So it's very acceptable and compassionate.
The very first time.
And besides hearing other people talk, it's very difficult for me to focus when you don't have your microphone muted. So this lack, it's not a lack of judgment, but this innocence and openness, when it's feeling embraced and safe and warm, it doesn't have so much judgment. And so it has an ability to accept, particularly others who are innocent, naive, hurting, vulnerable, wounded. So we have this beautiful, nurturing, lunar side, of Cancer that can really bring forward and care for the dogs and the cats and the planet and other people and abused women and abused children and the homeless and the hungry. And it's just like, it's like awesome. So that's all the good stuff about Cancer. Now what we want to look at, and I wanted to just mention that, I don't go for, exaltations, falls, and detriments and all this kind of thing. I know that in the old books, they say Mars is in its fall in Cancer, And all we can say is that, that definition was written by a patriarchal astrologer a long time ago, or maybe a whole group of them, because this Mars in Cancer, is just actively, wanting, desiring, nurturing, holding, security, and it's really listening and following, and this is what this is the strength about Cancer, is going to the beat of your own drummer. And this is powerful, and this is beautiful, and it can also make other people afraid. If you are not in doubt, and you do trust your feelings, and you really flow with that wave and with that river, and you trust that Mother Gaia is guiding your feelings and your emotions as much as your thoughts and your will and everything, and that you are in this flow, you will threaten the patriarchy, You will threaten, okay, the system. You will threaten the establishment. And so there's been a lot of, no, that's in its fall. That's bad. Don't be a bad girl. Okay. Don't cry. Okay. And don't get upset and don't listen to your feelings and just like, don't. It's like stuff, Cancer. And so, of course, there's a lot of shadow going around here when we suppress that inner child. Yeah. It comes out in weird, shitty ways. And then we get into the negative aspects, or what I don't like to say, positive. Well, I mean, it's positive and negative, good side, bad side, heads and tails, whatever. Okay. What I would like to say is immature Cancer. And let's just say that Cancer needs Capricorn as much as Capricorn needs Cancer. This is polarity. As we know, we evolve through moving towards the polarity. Not abandoning, like with evolutionary astrology, you want to move towards your Pluto polarity point. You want to move towards your Mars and your Venus polarity point. Moving towards them is not abandoning them or leaving them behind. It's moving towards the center. And this is a realization I got just a couple of days ago. I'm totally into it, I swear that in the center, there's a black hole. In the center of any polarity is the Shashuna. Yeah. In the center of any polarity, there's this portal that takes us to everywhere and nowhere, the infinite. So it's not about Cancer trying to become Capricorn or Capricorn trying to become Cancer. It's about Capricorn moving towards Cancer, Cancer moving towards Capricorn, and they get to that middle point, and that's where the magic is. That's where the magic happens. That's the center. That's the core. Yeah? That's our heart chakra, the center chakra of the upper and the lower. So Cancer, without Capricorn, okay, if you get like extremely, into the edge of Cancer, okay, you become so narcissistic. You become so self-absorbed. You become so insecure. You become the baby with the tantrum. I've got to have my way right now. Yeah, and you just start getting possessive, and you want your milk now, and you want this, and and now I don't want to talk to anybody, and I mean, you just like go into, okay, infantile. You can even become emotionally frozen at age 8, 9, 12, or whatever, in your teens or whatever. You can become extremely jealous, okay, in relationships and vindictive, okay. You can become extremely resentful. And particularly depending on other aspects in your chart or whatever things are going on for you with the moon in Cancer, maybe you have, subconscious, or conscious memories in this lifetime of abandonment where you weren't nurtured, okay, and you weren't cuddled and you weren't cared for and you weren't safe and you weren't secure, okay. And so you've got post-traumatic stress. Okay, you've got, wired, you've got resentment, you've got anger, okay? You've got these memories that really stir, okay, a lot of resentment about anybody else who is getting the kudos, who is, safe and warm and they're vulnerable and loving and sensitive and open and they don't doubt themselves. And you're sitting over there going, I never got that. I never got that. And the more unconscious it is, the more dangerous it is. But we can just call that immature Cancer. And that's kind of hard to get along with, right? It's hard to be in relationship, yeah, with that kind of a character, reality. It's the big baby that's always, crying, and this can be a man or a woman. Yeah, sometimes, the moon in the seventh, Cancer on the seventh, you attract babies, and you attract these immature people that are looking for a mama. Okay, instead of looking for a partner, they're looking for somebody to just cuddle them and snuggle them and take care of everything for them and be the adult for them. So we want to also, and this is where we get into, right? The moon is the mother, because when Cancer, the inner child, starts to move, towards that Capricorn polarity, then, okay, and it's maturity, right? I mean, I'm sure it's no accident, right? Puberty comes at 14. Well, it's coming a little earlier now. Maybe without the hormones and the milk and stuff, But anyway, around Saturn, opposite Saturn is what I was getting to anyway. I mean, around this time anyway. A girl, can bear children and can become a mother herself, okay, as she, does this polarity and can move a little more towards that Capricorn, which is objective and has, okay, it's not like suppressing and repressing those emotions, but objectively also seeing what? The effects of my emotional expression on other people in the world, on the next 7 generations, okay? My children and their children and their children and their children. And then it becomes, it's not just my little personal world of Cancer. Then it becomes, okay, it's like a big world. And it's time for us to, really, mother in, give birth to a new paradigm, give birth to a new age. And so this is this mature expression of Cancer that happens, okay, as it moves into this polarity point towards it. Integrates, yeah, that whole axis. So it's a beautiful time now for this next month, the sun moving through the sign of Cancer. And what we can look at, because we got lots of time, is Mars moving through here is stirring up. Okay, Mars is a fiery planet, okay, and it's coming through Cancer, and it's stirring up memories, subconscious, conscious memories, okay, from the past, and not all of those are pretty. Okay, nobody's got the perfect parents. Nobody's got the perfect mother. Nobody's got the perfect childhood. Nobody, has, just experienced a beautiful, warm, feathered nest, okay, for their whole freaking life. So Mars is coming in here like a scalpel. Mars is the masculine. It's the sword quality. It's the scalpel, and it's going to dig. And it's going to open up some of those wounds for us. Okay. And then it's going to come into this opposition to Pluto. And what is this going to like really bring up for us? Like, what is this going to bring forward? Yeah. This Mars in opposition to the Pluto. Okay. It's happening for the next couple of weeks. Okay. I wanted to give you some dates. It's kind of holding off till the end, with these dates, but, let's look at Mars in opposition to Pluto. First of all, the opposition is 180 degrees. It's like a full moon. So some seeds were sown when Mars was conjunct Pluto. And now it's coming, around. And this is a good time. Like I say in my Pele report thingy, it's a good time to build a house. It's a good time, okay, to, cook in the kitchen, delicious, wonderful food that's nurturing and nourishing. It's a good time to be in the garden, okay, and cultivating Mother Nature. So, Mars, is in Cancer is a plow. don't you just get out there and plow up your fields? So this is a great time, okay, for like digging in and bringing it up and stirring it up and expressing it out. And the square to Jupiter in Libra, this is, a really wonderful time for bringing up our emotional wounds, our emotional needs, our emotional fears, okay, to our partner. Jupiter in Libra is like, we want to, for this year, at least up until October, I think Jupiter moves on, yeah, November, it looks like, November 1st, October, November, Jupiter goes into Scorpio, then it's going to get even deeper. But now we can talk about some of these things. It's a good time for, intentional dialogue, nonviolent communication. Okay, as Mars, brings up all of this, angst, insecurities, fears. But all I can say is that Pluto is going to want to, again, really stuff, oppose. And what Pluto often manifests as is very powerful people. Pluto has a lot to do with relationships and bringing shamans, witches, warlords, underworld characters, intense scorpionic, shamans into our sphere. Okay, big, rich, tall, dark, sometimes handsome men or women, okay, that are going to just I am Pluto. You've got to confront me. You've got to deal with me. Are you a master or a slave? Okay, I am a predator. And if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to eat you. So this can be a time when a lot of people are freaking out. A lot of people are like, holy shit. Yeah. My job is I'd like to do this webinar. I feel like doing this webinar, but I have my job. Okay. I feel like, staying home, but I've got this job. Okay. Or I've got this authority figure, or I've got this parental figure. And sometimes as we get older, our kids can become our parents. So I've got these kids, now I've got my grown-up kids telling me that, I need to be here for that. It's like, Capricorn can be anybody. It doesn't have to be an old fart, right? So, it's like, we're just getting, a lot of demands. And Mars in Cancer, okay, can either stew and boil that water, okay, until we are like a volcano and we're just ready to burst and blow. And all I can say is I want to encourage you, and everybody to let it out, let that steam out. Do not be a pressure cooker. Because, Mars is coming closer and closer and closer, it's next week. It's, it's in the exact opposition. And then if you're trying to manage, your feelings too much, and what do they call that? Micromanage, or, overly stuff yourself or control yourself, then you explode. Yeah, and with the square to Jupiter, you will explode big time. And here's the other thing. I hate giving out recipes, for all of humanity, because it's so dependent upon your personal chart. And let's say maybe, 75, 80, maybe 90% of us, it's like, don't explode. Okay. But for some of us need to explode. Okay. Some of us have been holding this crap in for a long, long, long time. We've been denying our inner child. We've been ignoring our feelings. Okay. And we need to let it out. So what you want to do is you want to find healthy ways to let it out. Yeah. And when I think of healthy ways to let it out, of course, Mars is exercise. Move your body. Yeah. The opposition Pluto is sex. Yeah. Intimacy. okay, passion. You want to find ways of taking this passion and this energy and really letting it out, releasing it, swinging like a monkey from the trees. I think swimming would be very good. Of course, baking and cooking, sweating in the kitchen, you're sweating in the kitchen. I just got back from taking a steam bath and a sauna. Trying to relax. I mean, this is the thing. What you want to do is, it's like this, Mars Pluto can build up and build up and build up and build up. Well, what you want to be doing, and that's what the mantra is that I had for this week's Pele report. Yeah. What is it? When I am centered in my, I'm not even going to try to remember the damn thing. You got to go to my Facebook page or something. I have a terrible time remembering my mantra like every time. No, when I am centered in my core, not needing more, I connect with the mother who gave birth to it all. As in the silence, I hear her call. Oh, completely relaxed, yeah. When I am centered and in my core, completely relaxed, not needing more. So this relaxing, okay, it's like taking that thermometer with the mercury rising, up to, 98, 100, 105, the fever going to the head. It's like what we really want to be doing during these times, okay, is relaxing, releasing, flowing, and letting that water go down where it wants to go instead of like coming up and bursting. Yeah. So relaxing through breathing, of course, pranayama, all kinds of pranayama, all kinds of yoga, all kinds of, meditative practices, all kinds of drumming, music. And also, water loves music, okay? Soothing music, like classical music, healing music. So Cancer just, and of course, your whole environment. I maybe bring home to work, or bring some of your work home. But, when you do this, light some incense, okay? Have some mantras, playing in the background. Just like really bring in this nurturing, dim the lights a little bit, get rid of the fluorescence, hopefully you're not, in a cubicle, whatever. And so, as you nurture yourself, you're not going to be so codependent, and you're not going to be, needing and looking for, and you're not going to be this insecure little puppy, looking for pets. Please pet me, and have to wag your tail and kind of, it's kind of humbling, when you get like super, super, super scared. So this is kind of the way, and then of course the Mars squaring Jupiter, and we want to amplify this because Mercury and the Sun, okay, are coming around, and the Sun and Mars are just like traveling together all the way through Cancer, okay, all the way into Leo. And if you've got a pen and paper, or you want to record this and listen to it later, just get this sense. Number one, that the north node of Jupiter is at 9 degrees Cancer. And the north node of Pluto is at 20 degrees 05 Cancer. And the north node of Saturn is at 2137 Cancer. The north node of Pluto is conjunct the north node of Saturn. And I would love for everybody on this webinar, and maybe I'll throw it out to my New Paradigm community. Let's do some research, on this. And of course, the south node of Saturn is at 26 Capricorn. The south node of Pluto is at 2106 Capricorn. So just right around, 20, 21, even up to 26. But I wanted to get this time when transits are squaring, the Pluto-Saturn nodes, when the Sun, Mars, and Mercury are conjuncting, okay, these planetary nodes. It would be wonderful if you, just had a log or a journal and kept track of, the feelings that you had that day, because these are very powerful indications where we are able, okay, to just tap into the collective soul. Yeah. Pluto is the soul. So the north node of Pluto is, the human, collective soul intention. I should look up for the Sabian symbol for that baby. I did look up the Sabian symbol for this new moon that's happening tomorrow. And we can get to that. Let me finish up on one thing before I go on to the next. And maybe we'll also take some questions too coming up here. I see 21 chats, but I'm flowing, so I'll stay with the flow a little bit. I'll give you some dates. Yeah. So what we have here is Mars already went over the north node of Jupiter, okay, on June 18th. And on Mercury hits the north node of Jupiter on the 25th of June, and the Sun hits it on the 30th of June. So that's Jupiter, okay, because that's just at 9 degrees. And then later on, a little later on in the month, okay, Mars, Mercury, and the Sun are going to come up to Pluto at Pluto's north node at 20 degrees. And that's going to be for June 30th, Mercury hits it. And July 4th, Mars hits it. And on July 12th, the Sun hits it. Then 21 degrees, the north node of Saturn, okay? Mars hits that on July 5th, Mercury on July 1st, and the Sun on July 13th. So we see these next few weeks here, okay, as a very strong, these impulses moving us towards the future. And the north node of Saturn is future soul commitment. So this is a time to commit. And as we all know, with this Saturn square Chiron that's been going on this whole entire year, okay, that this commitment needs to be to our deepest soul intention. This is the time to connect with our deepest soul intention. And that will involve, perhaps, quitting your job. Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto's about letting go, okay? And Capricorn is about your mask, your persona, your social role as it has been. If it is not in integrity, if it is not in your truth, and we're going to be getting this for the next couple of years, okay? Saturn, goes into Capricorn at the end of this year. Okay, so, but even now, and particularly when it came up and hit the galactic center, and it's coming back to hit the galactic center again soon, yeah. This is just like really emphasizing, okay, the very powerful, what it's like the universe is not letting us get away without getting on track. And if you're if you're sliding off track, guess what? You are getting smacked. Yeah, Chiron will get you physically, okay? And it'll get you with a lot of depression. Saturn square Chiron is, it's got this depression around it. And it's just, Neptune, moving through even suicidal kind of stuff and everything with this, and I talked about this last night at the talk I gave, how, we're at this close of Jupiter and Saturn closing in this balsamic phase to Pluto from now till 2020. And the balsamic phase is about releasing, surrendering, letting go, deconditioning, stepping back from what you've been doing for so many years. And 2020 is the birth of a new Saturn-Pluto cycle, a new Jupiter-Pluto cycle, a new Jupiter-Saturn. It's a new birth. I want to look at 2020 not as the apocalypse, in the end and the crisis. I want to look at it as a birth. And we're preparing for a birth. And this preparation, is just really a time for us to get, in alignment with our deepest soul intention. And our deepest soul intention is that so many of us are healers, the whole Pluto and Virgo generation. So many of us are teachers. It's just like, we're bringing all of this stuff in as evolutionary astrologers in particular. So, this is just, and I got to say, it's also about bringing our relationships into alignment with that higher purpose, with that higher intention. This is the Jupiter square. Jupiter squares, Jupiter squares this Saturn-Pluto North Node. It first came around January 1st. Happy New Year. I wonder if you made any New Year's resolutions. Jupiter came around to square the North Node of Saturn and the North Node of Pluto. Then went retrograde in February, and it came back in March, the middle of March, retrograde. And it's going to turn around in late August. We know that August is really jam-packed, this year, with the eclipse happening. All right, that's at I think it's 4 degrees Leo. It's and the Sabian symbol for that, for that eclipse is a mermaid emerging out of the ocean, preparing to incarnate in a human form. We're taking this whole theme of Cancer and we're bringing it right into Leo with this Leo eclipse being a mermaid. So we have to incorporate our changeable, emotional, inner self needs, feelings, and our fears, into creating, into building safe home environments, setting foundation stones. Now's a good time for, setting the stones, setting the foundation, digging the foundation of relationship, of businesses, of families, of, it's just like this is just a real time of coming home. I want to close our session today with a little chant. Where we can all just kind of, move into this place of coming home, if it's going to work on the computer. But so, these are just some of the thoughts, feelings that come to me. Well, so the title of this thing is Love. Love and connection. And we have to trust ourselves. We have to trust our instincts. We have to trust our feelings. We have to trust our emotions, and if we want to experience love, and, love is what it's about, love is what we're all learning. If there's a common soul intention, it is for us to bring love, shed love, spread love, experience love, express love. This is a very, this is, the evolution of our species. This is opening our hearts, regardless of patriarchy, matriarchy, anarchy, or any other archy, new paradigm, old paradigm, whatever. It's just about, coming into a greater awareness. I mean, I say life is becoming conscious of the unconscious. And we know that the collective unconscious, okay, if we become conscious of the collective unconscious, first of all, there is no more collective unconscious because we're all conscious. But the idea of that whole collective unconscious is that we're all one. Pisces, Neptune, 12th house, no boundaries, no walls, no limits. It's nirvana, samadhi, union, yoga, love. This is love. And there are many forms, types, vibrations, or levels, or, whatever you want to look at of expressing love. But so many of them are contingent upon. It's very hard to be in touch with your heart. It's very hard to love when you're not feeling safe. And it's very easy to judge and blame and point fingers when you're not feeling safe and you're closed down and you're shut off and you're not feeling connected. Then this just increases the gulf between me and you. And love, the bridge of love becomes, well, it collapses, right? As the gorge widens in some kind of an earthquake, everything goes. So we want to really understand, and this is where we need to become our own mother. We need to become our own nurturer. And I think this is the big major lesson of the Pluto polarity point. Moving through Cancer now, the north nodes of the planets moving through Cancer now. Now the planets, Sun, Mercury, Mars, and the Moon coming up here, moving through Cancer now, is we need to not only get in touch with our inner child, but get in touch with our inner mother. And we start nurturing ourselves, and we start taking responsibility for our feelings and not just vomiting them on everybody else. This is how I feel. Yeah, you have it, you hold it, you take it. I'm sick of it. I've got to vent it. I just got to let it out. It's like, what? Yeah. If we start, if you really, and this is what I say, we want to be the adult, and I say to a lot of, my clients, you put your little child right on your left shoulder and ask little Sally or little Johnny, okay, how is this feeling? Okay, don't become little Sally or little Johnny. Okay, you're the adult here, and you check in. You check in with your inner child. You check in with your feelings. You check in with your emotions. You don't become them. They are not your sum total. Okay, there's 12 houses and 12 signs. We've all got an inner child. So what we want to do is we want to honor it, listen to it, and don't forget Capricorn. Yeah, and balance it out. And then you're not going to get resentful, bitchy, okay, wild and, immaturely just like, slapping your, all your repressed emotions all over the place and on everybody else. And then, of course, your relationships are going to, then your partners, our partners don't have to carry so much of our projections. Yeah. So you don't want to project your child onto your partner. You don't want to make your partner be your mother or your father either. So as you become more of your own mother and your own father, your partner gets relieved. And then this Jupiter in Libra, Mars square Jupiter, it's a great aspect. Yeah. Cosmobiology, Mars plus Jupiter equals birth. Yeah. So, Jupiter, the principle of fertility and expansion, getting this jolt, okay, from Mars, you know, this is beautiful. And of course, the downside, the shitty side of that is just too much. And I already said that, if the Mars is going wonkers, okay, in Cancer, then it's too much. And there, it can be too much codependency or too much in the relationship or too much about the relationship or just, over expanding ourselves into the relationship. Tell me who I am. Tell me how I'm feeling. Tell me how I feel. How do you feel? And it's just like too much, it turns into, you don't get anything done. But that's all right, because Uranus over there in Aries is not going to let any of us, get away with that kind of crap anyway, the way I see it. So it's good. All right. So just one more thing, and that is we've got this new moon. Oh, so it came back to love. I wanted to just let me wrap it up here with love. Yeah. So when you are your own mother, your own father, and your own inner child, and you've got these things imbalanced, then you're not going to be doubting yourself. You're not going to be afraid of your feelings. Okay, you're going to be listening to them. You're going to be integrating them. You're not going to be suppressing them and repressing them. So they're not going to come out twisted and distorted and all, create all kinds of crap for you. Then then you will feel, and you'll be, and your magnetic field, your heart chakra is going to radiate, a different vibration. And you're going to attract a different kind of partner and different kinds of people. And people are going to look at you differently, and they're going to relate to you differently because you're in your center. You're in your core. You're in your Sushumna. You're balanced. You've taken that portal up. Kundalini rising. Everybody loves you. And then you can do that North Node in Leo, and you can really be expressing this love even more broadly and more widely and playfully and lightly, and you can come out of your shell, and that that crab can kind of come out over the rocks, yeah, and open up. It's like the hermit crab. The hermit crab can throw off its shell. And look around for another shell, right? So Cancer is so fun. This inner child, when it comes out with Leo and starts to play, and goes rocking around the clock and everything, then it's it's just like it's more light, joyful. You feel safe and secure. You've expressed your emotions and your feelings. And through the expressions you've seen, objectified, and it's like, okay, now I can see. And this is what's so beautiful about Jupiter in Libra, is we see ourselves, we've got mirrors. Now is the time to do relationship, be in relationship, grab somebody just to be your mirror. Just say, what, I got till October. Well, when it goes into Scorpio, you got a real mirror. I gotta, it's just if you want to mirror back the attic, the middle floor, or the cellar, but just grab somebody for the next year and a few months or whatever, and say, would you be my mirror? Go for it, yeah. And then this is going to really, this is a time to really dance with relationship and partnership, So, all right. Let me turn on my chat box, take some questions. Oh no, yeah, I was gonna. Oh shit! Just one more thing. Let me share my screen. Where is it? Uh-oh. Lose it?
It's the green box at the bottom.
No, it's what I wanted to share. Darn it! I was on the internet. That's all right. It had to do, okay, with the Sabian symbol for the new moon, and it was about a deer a man in a shaggy fur, coat, with a deer, like moving through the Arctic Circle or something. I mean, this is tests and trials. And this Pluto opposite, opposition here, is going to be, we're all kind of like in this kind of a testing trial position where it is really necessary to stay the course. Yeah, to endure, to persevere, to stay in our truth, and our emotions show us our truth, despite the pressure to conform, the pressure to obey, the pressure to succeed, the pressure to, be fake or phony, or, wear a mask and just be a putrid person. Phony people. It's just like, ooh, right? So there's a great pressure, okay, honest to do that. So it is time for each one of us to confront, all of our fears around total, full, complete self-expression. And even if it is how vulnerable, scared, immature, or stupid we really are. So, with that in mind, I have thanks. Somebody put it up here. Christina, of course. Christina, you awesome. Okay. A man bundled in fur leads a shaggy deer. Christina, the old Christina Caudill, a member of the dream team of the new Paradigm Astrology community. Thank you very much. You are so awesome. Okay, I'm looking at the chat box now, and I'm just, if there's anything that,
So,
anybody
Kaypacha,
ask her.
if anyone has a question, they can unmute themselves and speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyone? Or a comment?
Hey, this is Wendy. I just want to say, Kaypacha, I so appreciate all your Leo energy. It's so freaking inspiring. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm a Leo too, so it's really so inspiring. So great to hear you, and I love hearing all the Cancer stuff. It's so true. And I tried that. I did grab somebody. It didn't work out. They were like stuck in their Cancer shit and wouldn't do it.
Grab somebody else. I mean, come on, it's practice, 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 practice. Libra initiates relationship, okay? Scorpio consummates it. Yeah? So, just go on initiating it. Go window shopping. I mean, it's just like, have fun. And yeah, if it's a pain in the butt, get out of there. Right on.
Okay, thanks, Wendy. Any other comments?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks, Kaypacha. It's Sonia here from New Zealand. Hi. I feel like I'm living what you just spoke about. I don't know what advice you've got, but just the emotional, like, you frame it so well. I've got Chiron crossing my ascendant, squaring, trining that Mars and Cancer. It's like, it's big stuff, but it's confront those fears, total expression. That's what it's all about.
Well, let's look at that Chiron. I mean, for sure, Chiron going over there. Chiron's the co-ruler of the underworld, and it brings us into our wounds, and a lot of our wounds are around our child. And our childhood, and our emotions and our feelings are wounded, and you go into your wounds, you go into Cancer, in the fourth house. And to me, the thing about Chiron is just like, really, it's about researching and investigating your wound, and that is what turns it into your medicine. That's what turns it into. So, right now it's just like, really, just kind of see it as, I'm in school. This is just the school of emotion, the school of, it's not going to last forever. I'm going to graduate. I want to get the most out of it. I want to feel every single one of these feelings. And I suggest, like maybe getting, big chunks of paint and throwing them at the, getting at the wall, or, just like, I feel red, or doing like finger, it's just like, but the more I think you can get your body involved, and just like find some creative outlet for that, dancing or music, or just, just like move that energy. It's cardinal water, and so like more power to you. Go for it. And what you're going to turn around, you're probably going to be teaching other people how to do just that, right?
Kaypacha, we have a few questions in the chat. Would you like to take 2 more questions?
I've got Liv. Is this a good time to form new business community relationships? Possible groups of women coming together? Or will we play this cosmic drama out? Should we wait and go deep first and then come together at another time? Absolutely not. Jupiter is in Libra. Yeah. This is a time, like I say, for us to be like bumper cars at the carnival. This is time where you really find yourself through relationship, through having another person there as a sounding board. Okay, this is not a time to go in and go deep. It's a time to go in and go deep with somebody, through somebody. It's like you have to go in and go deep and bring it up and bring it out. And it's almost like, you can go deep with somebody. Okay, I don't want you to get the idea that you have to be alone to be deep. It's like you can really find those intense, especially with this, Jupiter square Pluto, okay, and the Mars opposite Pluto. Now's the time to, find a shaman and go deep with that shaman. And it's also the relationships that are going to trigger our shadow and going to trigger its relationships that are going to help us go deep by pissing us off, by pushing our buttons, by seeing where we're scared. It's if you're just hanging out at home, by yourself, you're not going deep.
Great. Either go ahead.
Hello, Kaypacha.
Hey.
Hi, thank you very much for the great work you do and the inspiring soul you are. I'm also in your paradigm community as a member. I want to ask you from Sweden, what is your home, both personally and collectively?
Home is where the heart is, my friend. I like to be home wherever I go.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I live in Costa Rica.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And collectively, I try to really see myself as a citizen of planet Earth, and I like to consider Earth my home and embrace all cultures and all races and religions and all people, and really try to expand my concept of just what home is, to not being this little physical space, but being more of of Gaia. Yeah. Thank you.
So, Kaypacha, would you like to wind down or continue?
Well,
A few more?
Yeah, I can do a couple more questions.
Excellent. Please unmute yourself and speak if you have a question or a comment.
Hi, Kaypacha. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Pat.
Hi. I'm going through so much of what you explained. It's so miraculous. And my son is 24 Capricorn, so guess what?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, man. You got the North Node of
dimensional sphere of realities that is amazing. My dream states are amazing, and every day and every moment is a step in a different energy, and I'm just experiencing so much that I have to keep going back to my heart center and breathe into the heart, ground into Mother Earth every day, and send loving light to everyone. That's what I've been doing for a long, long time. And so now I understand what my process is, why I've been going through this tremendous process. But
Beautiful.
I know so many people are going through so much, and standing in compassion, honor, and embracing everything is the only way I can get through my day, no matter what happens.
Beautiful.
I thank you so much for your wisdom and your energy and your knowledge. It's awesome. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Great.
Well, thank you, Pat. That's great.
Thanks, Pat. Michael, go ahead.
I have a question.
Okay, yeah. Michael?
Yeah, that's right. I have Pluto going over my Chiron and ascendant at the same time. So, I definitely am feeling that quite strongly over the past few months. Just like to hear anything that you have to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's a 3-year transit. A Pluto transit is 3 years, my friend. So, depending on where it is, okay, I always like to say that, the death is always followed by a rebirth, okay? And you really have to look at what Jeffrey speaks about as the 4 ways that Pluto works with evolution. Yeah, it's in his Pluto Volume 1. And it has to do with the amount of resistance to the evolutionary process that the individual has. And if you are not resisting the evolutionary process, the first way that Pluto works to bring your evolution is it brings up new talents and capacities from past lives that you have developed in a previous lifetime. So this Pluto coming over your Chiron and ascendant, you may experience, okay, an absolute shift of a very powerful kind. The second way is through relationship. This can also be a time when a Plutonian relationship comes into your life. And through that other person, you become the Chiron, you become the healer, you become the teacher. And it may be that you attract also, yes, a very powerful other that is going to just totally transform your life and bring you in touch with your healer, which is what you are meant to be with Chiron on the ascendant. I mean, you are a healer, you're a born healer. The third way that Pluto can work, if there's more resistance, is stagnation. It puts you in the walls are closing in on me. I can't stand this relationship, this job, this life, this reality, this, house, home, country anymore. I've got to just I'm going to go nuts if I don't make a freaking change. Yeah. And then, of course, and the fourth
it all makes
way,
sense, everything they're saying. No, the fourth way. Okay, go ahead.
The fourth way is if you're in total resistance and total denial, okay, then it just takes it away. Then it's just you lose the job, you lose the relationship, you lose the arm, you lose the leg or the house or the money or whatever, right? So, people see Pluto coming, and I think there's this kind of dark shadow in the interpretation of Pluto. But it does not have to be that way. Pluto can go over your ascendant and be the most open, where you truly step into your mastery.
Mm-hmm.
So go for it.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going for
it. All right, baby.
Take care.
I'm going to go for it too, you guys. I think if everybody's good,
Okay, Kaypacha, would you like to wind down now? Is that right?
Sure.
Oh, thank you so much. That was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to unmute everybody now to say thank you. So off you go, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Kaypacha.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much.
That was excellent.
Love, love, love. All you need is love. Thank you.
Love, love.
Namaste.
Bye. Thank you.
Aloha. So much love. Woo! Yay!
Okay. Bye bye.